Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Life is Strange 2 for the last few episodes of the story. Last time, what happened last time? Sean and Daniel had reunited. They had been separated at the end of episode 3. They had come together in episode 4, along with their mother, and have left this kind of like religious town in search of their own destiny. This being the last episode, episode 5, it kind of makes me wonder, like, how this is going to end, especially considering that episode, like the first Life is Strange, ended with a decision. The decision was whether you would destroy Arcadia Bay and save your friend, or let your friend die and save Arcadia Bay. So I wonder exactly what is going to happen in regards to the journey of Sean and Daniel. What kind of choice will they be expected to make? Also, considering the political message that's going on here, the wall, like, of anybody who can get through the wall, that's Daniel. Like, he doesn't have to worry about trying to climb it. He can make his own door. And will that lead to a different political message? Will he be tasked with some other goal? Because in essence, like, both Max in Life is Strange 1 and Daniel are superheroes of their universe. But with Max, like, her superpower, like the people that she has to choose who to save. It's that whole decision, like, if you that whole, like, theoretical question: if a train is coming at, like, a group of 5 people, and then there's one person on the other train track, do you switch the train tracks and cause that other person to die? Or do you let that group of people die instead? No matter what, you're saving lives. You're saving a life, or you're saving a group of lives. But you're also causing death. So I wonder if Daniel is going to have to deal with that own superhero quandary. Like, is he going to be presented with the idea of trying to save lives? Because most of his superpower training is just lifting rocks and just being able to use his superpower. So I wonder if he's going to actually have to use his superpower for the means of helping others. But enough of that. Let's get through the metaphorical wolf backstory to remember what happened before, because this game really, really, really digs its wolf metaphor.
Once upon a time, in a wild, wild world, there were 2 wolf brothers living in their home lair with their papa wolf. They lived in peace until hunters took their dad away. The wolf brothers wandered for days and nights, learning how to live on their own for the first time. That's when the big brother discovered that the little one was not an ordinary wolf, but a super wolf.
Dun dun dun!
They decided to head south to the distant land of their ancestors. But the journey was long and dangerous. Still, the wolf brothers...
I mean, it's an interesting way to kind of, like, to present the previously on Life is Strange 2 in a more artistic manner, because I think, like, people have become so used to the TV show format that, like, there's always the expectation of previously on Life is Strange.
He went to search for his little brother.
And this kind of connects the imagery to the story.
Joined a coyote cult
Dun dun dun.
Leave them. Suddenly, their mother showed up after all that time.
And help
She
them
said
defeat
she
the
came to
lair
help
of the
rescue.
coyotes.
They begged the coyote leader, but she would not release the little wolf. He was their idol. So they had to knock her out to escape.
But the cult leaders survived. They just left the burning
Wolf
building.
brothers, now reunited, followed their rogue mother far into the desert to her hideaway.
Life is Strange 2 is a story-based experience that highlights player choice. Choose wisely. Although, I think I talked about this before, but my entire thoughts on all these like choice and consequence-based games is generally you're going to get the story that you get. It's only after looking back at the algorithm that you can really see where things could have gone right, where things could have gone wrong. And depending on the game you're playing, there's a lot of bottlenecking. Everything kind of leads to similar situations. Like, at the end of episode 3, I had the opportunity to join in this drug heist, where we were going to this drug dealer's cabin to rob them. I could choose to go along with them, or I can choose not to. But regardless of my choice, Daniel still ends up going along with them, so I end up going to it as well. So it always leads to that same event. There's a certain amount of fate. There's a certain amount of element of destiny at play with these kinds of adventures, especially the episodic adventures. Because episodes have to begin at certain places, have to end at certain places, and not to mention like the amount of budget it would take to kind of really create a story that always began and ended at different locations would be enormous.
Check it out.
Like I've recently played what's it called? Man of Medan. And I feel like Man of Medan, in regards to its choices and its consequences, like, it's hard to tell what choices lead to what consequences without necessarily looking at the algorithm.
Good call.
Like, you play Life is Strange 2, and I feel that your choices,
That's amazing.
the consequences of them,
I know.
are more dictated by the characters, whereas there's a lot of mystery going on with like Man of Medan and
Is your eye okay?
Until Dawn.
Yeah. It just itches.
You probably
It's
should
okay.
put some medication on that.
Promise.
Yeah. Okay.
I love you. No matter what happens. You hear me?
Yeah. I love you too.
Also, it would be kind of cruel to blame Danny for Sean's eye. Largely because, like, Daniel was shocked. He didn't really have awareness of what was going on.
Diaz brothers. Always.
Not sometimes. Also, where did their mom go? Didn't they drive from...
So... Are you still having those bad dreams?
Didn't they drive from the commune?
You know, about Lisbeth?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like she's around, coming after me. It's scary.
She's lucky you didn't go after her.
Yeah, but she's still out there. Somewhere.
Oh. Is this going to lead to
Creeps
something?
me out.
Listen. We're far away from her, okay? We're together again.
Like, are we going to be more
Safe.
worried about this cult leader than
Hope
we
so.
are about the law? about Johnny Law chasing
Sean.
us down. Although I suppose that kind of leads to a
Are we
culmination
criminals now?
of all those stories. Well, we did commit arson. No.
No way. We did exactly what we had to. If the cops catch us, we'll be judged for what we did. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We're not criminals, but we will still
I
be
know.
judged. But
Well,
okay, let's try to make an argument of
we're
why
almost
they're
at the
not
border.
criminals. So,
Finally.
so far, like
I
the
like
only,
it here. But
let's see, crimes they may have
We'll have
committed.
to leave
The
soon.
killing of the officer at the beginning of the
I
game
know.
I'm sorry.
was
man.
caused by
Sean,
Daniel not knowing he
I
had
know
powers.
it's been a long time. Can you tell me the rest of the wolf story?
Oh. Yeah. I can tell you.
There was the
Forever
gas
since we left
station
off.
incident, but the
Wait.
gas station
Too long.
owner had kidnapped these
Let's
kids
see.
and was
Oh, yeah.
abusing them.
Okay.
So that's self-defense.
Thanks to their mama wolf, the Wolf brothers barely escaped from the coyote cult.
Daniel, you were there.
She led them to her secret lair, deep in the Red Desert.
Like, you don't need the summary of what happened
The
in your
Wolf
life.
brothers rested for a while.
Then they woke
At some
up,
point,
and they
have
looked
to
out
continue
to the
their
sun
journeys.
rise over the distant
they were closer
cliffs.
than ever to their father's land. But between them and their
Then,
destination lied.
A mighty fire unicorn. But she's nice, so they become friends.
Excuse me. Who's telling the story?
You are. But it's my story too. Right?
that is true. You got a
Yeah.
point there, kid.
That's true. Okay then. So what happens next?
I believe I
they arrive
stated
in
the
Mexico,
fire
But
unicorn
the country is rampaged by goblins. Together,
goblins.
the wolves and the unicorn manage to slay them and become heroes. The police forgives them, and all their friends come to Mexico to celebrate.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good, and I know.
Yeah.
Let's pack this shit up and head back to town. Gotta clean up our stuff before we leave.
So
This
we
place
got
is too pretty.
a telescope.
So incredible to see all those stars and planets up close. It's like we're right there.
Not
I hope
necessarily.
we could go watch the stars again.
You've
Mom
still
said
got a
there's
few
moon
light
eclipse
years to
coming
go.
up soon.
I'm in. This place is cool.
Although,
I could just move here.
that's actually
Hey,
kind of
I
interesting.
can help. Just
Like,
tell me what you want to put in there.
You are the man.
Like, you look at Star Wars, and like the original Star Wars movie gets crap because, like, Han flew the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, and a parsec is a unit of distance. So it's like running a 100-yard dash in 100 yards. But at the same time, we
Every star
measure
looked the
the
same
distance
until we
from
used Karen's
stars
old guide.
by the amount of time it takes light to
My
travel
back
those
hurts
stars,
a little.
rather than distance,
I'm glad we're
because
sleeping in our
it
beds
makes more sense than judging about my miles or nanometers.
now. I swear Dad had that same book in the garage.
Yeah. I think
Actually, nanometers
Why
would be
did he
terrible
never show
because
it
that's
to
really
us?
small.
maybe
I have to go
it reminded him of Mom.
the
too
other
much.
direction.
Oh,
Kilometers?
yeah. Right.
Miles? Parsecs? Ooh, flashlight.
Pretty useless with the crazy moonlight we had. But it scares the coyotes away.
That moonlight was so crazy.
Activate flashlight.
On the way.
Using superpowers just so we don't have to get up and walk 2 feet.
God damn. That food was amazing.
Although I
Thanks,
would
Johnny.
imagine, like,
Power is so cool. I love tie-dyeing stuff now.
I love tie-dyeing stuff now. He loves to tie-dye stuff.
Still need our processed sugar
Right.
in this hippie desert.
Like, I would imagine
Let's
if you
clean up
do
this
have
mess.
the ability for
Not if
telekinesis,
it cleans up by itself.
like, you'd be more than likely to,
Stop. Daniel.
Can't catch it, huh?
No shit. Now cut
like,
it out.
like you'd be
Jeez.
more than likely to just
You're no
use it on a
fun.
daily basis for just basic things.
Yo, Captain Can you take these away?
Sure.
And no funny business.
Of course not.
Perfect formation.
Sleeping bags. Sketchbook. Ah, I can draw. I can make drawings.
It's so nice and cool in the morning here. Then it gets so hot. Ooh, sketching time. Good idea.
I wonder how well his drawing has improved.
Glad you can still draw after.
Is he doing better? Because that was something that was holding him back.
But
Is
if I
like
can see
his
it in my mind, I can still sketch anything.
is his issue with
Almost.
That's so cool.
what is it called? It's not peripherals. It's
I don't want you to stop drawing. Ever.
Thanks, man.
This is so
in theory. I'll remember the right word next time.
Sorry, I missed that. Did you say again?
Okay. I still forget the fact that sometimes Siri responds to theory.
Hey, can you draw me as a superhero? Like, striking a pose over the canyon.
I can try.
Chilled or badass? Badass. Excellent. Ooh, fighting a giant monster, maybe. Giant monster mash.
Ta-da. Finished.
Let me check it out. Jeez. Do I really look that evil? He looks more like a supervillain.
You know, some people just don't get inspired by good work. But that's, like, you can say that's part of having power, is the flexing of power almost makes him appear evil, even though...
I'm glad we had these. Not a fan of desert critters.
Nope. Pack the sketchbook. Although I suppose the fact that he's facing
the trail,
away from the monsters, that almost makes it seem as though he is in line with the monsters. So I suppose I can see his thoughts on the appearance of seeming evil.
What are you doing?
No time to play. Don't mess around with a scorpion, it will sting you.
What the fuck, dude? Don't do that.
What's wrong?
Stop messing with it, man.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, little guy. Don't get eaten by eagles.
Do eagles eat scorpions?
No idea.
Cool. Let's go.
Although the scorpion has no idea what's going on, so... I guess it's...
I wish we saw more falling stars.
Like, what element of
or any.
animal cruelty does that kind of fall under? We saw the Milky Way.
We saw the Milky Way, dude. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's true. And Mars. That was so cool Arthur and Stanley let us use the telescope.
Who is
Hey.
Arthur and Stanley?
See this? Looks like the ones you did back in that cabin. When you got sick.
Oh, totally. Wait, does that mean other people were here?
Of course.
Sure.
Maybe someone from
The
away.
world is well traveled.
I bet it was
From
Joanne.
away.
Where were we? Yeah. These guys are real cool.
But first, let's take a look at this weed.
Amazing that anything can grow out here.
Does it ever rain in the desert?
Well... Oh. Good question.
I want to say the answer is yes.
Think Joanne will let me help her with her
But
sculpture? when I
very,
get back?
very rarely.
Hell yeah. You're like the magic assistant.
It's nice to be able to use my power out here. Not hide it.
Yeah.
Karen was right. They're all cool with it.
That'll be
doesn't
interesting
say
to
much
see
about
where
my
this
power.
actually goes.
Why do you think?
Because she has an idea as to... Maybe she's confused.
She's... confused.
Maybe she's trying to make sense of it just as much as
What do you
anybody
mean?
else.
She's my mom.
Well, you know... I mean... She hasn't seen you for years. Not sure she can deal with all of this at the same time.
Huh.
And also,
Must be
she
weird
just
for
set a church on fire, so...
I hear you.
It's not every day you do that, too. Do I have to help you down?
My legs are... You know, I could have done it by myself, right?
Yep.
Hey,
Hey, you know who I'd see having a trailer out here?
who?
Brody. He'd love it. Like, he could have his own radio station and everything.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like a job for our local super psychic boy. Yeah.
I feel as though this section is so small. Like, the dialogue is
So, maybe you can
constantly
help us get
fighting
outta
with
here?
each other. How did they get here in the first
I'll try.
place?
Step back.
be super careful.
I guess that's one way to do it.
There you go.
I was expecting
I
him
hope
to
it's
just kind of lift things up and then
Nice,
toss
man.
them to the side. The irony of that story is that it kills the scorpion. And the scorpion's family. Oh, okay. So now they're living with the... Okay, yeah, they mentioned the numerous people that their mom is now friends with, so I guess they're living with a new community. Although I suppose you could say that every episode of the game has been them kind of... So Life is Strange... Episode 1, they were living with their community in Seattle. Episode 2, they were on the move. But that's when they find their grandparents. And so they're living in that... Or they have that living arrangement.
I'm gonna go see what Joanne...
Episode 3
Go for it. I
has
have to bring back
the
telescope to Stanley and
druggies.
Arthur.
4 is the cults.
Went to town for weekly supplies. Some pancakes left in the kitchen? Back soon.
Yeah, pancakes. Did he just shove his telescope into, like... Okay, into his bag. It almost kind of looked like he just shoved the telescope into his pocket.
Daniel, you copy?
Yes, I read you. 10-4.
I have a pancake alert in the kitchen. Repeat. Pancake alert.
Oh, man. Sorry. I was gonna eat with Joanne. Over and out.
10-4. No flying pancakes today.
10-4, First Sergeant.
It's nice to play games with Daniel again.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine so.
Karen
Although I
wants
wonder
to join us
exactly
too.
where their education is going to go from here. Because,
Still can't believe she's kept it.
Sean has kind of been interrupted in his high school career. Daniel has been interrupted in his elementary school career. Like, take USB key? What do I do with this USB key? Maybe now is the right time. Huh. I forgot what that was for.
She's really good at... This one's pretty intense.
I
think
am
I
a
get it.
solo Mobius strip. Just when I reach the end, I go back to the beginning. Resign myself to new faces, the privilege to escape and rewrite another draft. Goddess laughs at plans, then shows me the page left unmarked for years. Out in the ghost desert, the seeds return as saplings to reveal their age and power. Now I go back forward, layered with fear and hope, to water the children of the sun. Don't believe I would find a soul within or without a church. A miracle was sleep and food and fuck. A day without shit. Until it was not. Now we run to celestial spires. Oh, visions of the fake prophet, engulfed in ego and belief. As the burning cross falls on all your cruel angels, I am the bonfire of vanities. So when the dam breaks, we all flood like glass on a mirage. If I believe. I'm not a poet. I know it. I like haikus. I find haikus fun. They are a cool distraction, so I make them up. There we go. But I don't consider myself like I'm more into writing prose than poetry.
Karen letting us invade her space.
Like short stories or novels versus
After all
or
these
attempts
years,
at novels versus trying to write poetry.
that's something. Either Karen was desperate for a job, or she loved working with kids.
It's the happy world. Everybody's happy at the happy world.
Karen has been camping in her own house since we arrived.
We got some fruit fizz. We got birthday candles.
Daniel's Big 10 late birthday party made him feel so happy.
I would imagine so. We got pancakes and hot
I
sauce.
do remember Karen would drown her pancakes in hot sauce. Ugh, gross.
To each their own. To each their own.
One thing Claire and Karen have in common, their love for pancakes.
Does he just pick up the pancakes with his hands and just eats the pancake? Again, to each their own.
Karen doesn't even like to leave this place just to go shopping. Karen must have been so excited to finally hit New York.
Fly by night, not by fright, into the big city bright. Stop. That cliche never dying in the steel of the buildings, the warp of the streets. But no matter what or where I spin, the pull of a million dead poets takes me to dance once again. Go. But this time I get to lead until the next flight. Again, I don't know. I'm not really into. I don't really know how to
Looks like they
judge
all
poetry
finally found
almost
their home.
as much as say like, poetry to me is like music. You either connect with it or you don't. And is this the group of people, everybody who fill up this commune? Because I think that third person is Karen.
Karen looks so young and fragile on this picture. Hard times.
In Kissimmee, Florida.
I'm so glad Jacob and his sister are doing okay.
Wow,
They
that
deserve
is
some
some...
peace.
That is some illegible cursive. Hola, Sean. Sorry I did not write to you sooner, but this was the first time I have had a chance to relax after we got out of Haven Point. Thanks to you and your brother. I still can't believe it really happened. So bizarre. Sarah Lee and I do miss our parents, but we're not ready to let them know where we are yet. We will figure that out later. Thanks to my old savings account, I finally got Sarah Lee antibiotics, so she's been feeling better pretty fast. Oh yeah, Jacob was from the cult. And Sarah Lee was actually sick, and the cult leader mom was denying her medication despite the fact that she was actually getting her own medication for herself. Kids are like superhumans. The most important thing to me is my sister, just like your brother. You are lucky to have each other, and when you are both come our way, we are blessed. I'm trying to track down our Humboldt crew, so I'll keep you posted. I hope everybody is okay after that night on the farm. We all deserve a break and a better future. Please let me know when you make it to the other side. You and Daniel got this. Give our little hero a big hug.
So cute. Looks like Lila has some competition now.
Hi, Daniel. Hope you're good and happy. I feel so much better now. It took forever before we found a place to live, but we finally did. I love this cold weather way more than the heat. Please come see us soon. Thanks for being one of my best friends. Sarah Lee.
So good to have a home. Again.
I wonder how much of this kind of game, like this kind of gameplay, is just walking around and looking at things.
Didn't realize how much I miss Cassidy's voice.
And she left her number.
And... dude.
And her vagina. Hola, sexy boy. No more city boy. Jake hooked me up with your P.O. box, so now you can't hide from your old crew anymore. I know you took off from the hospital. I'm glad you're still going down to Mexico. We've all been fugitives on the run, but you and Daniel are the kings of the road. I hope you finally get back home. Of course, I'm not ready to settle yet, so we're all hanging out in Colorado. The idea is trying to get as far away of the West Coast as possible. Too many ghosts for now. Hard to believe Finn isn't here to start shit, and we don't miss him for that. But he'll get a few more songs out of me. We all want to remember him for his angels, not his demons. I miss you. I would love to take a road trip out of this shithole, and it would be great to swim with you again. So you better let me know when you hit Mexico, Sean. Don't make me track you down. Here, I'll even give you my number, so no excuses. Oh, and we got the eye medicine.
She changed my diapers, but it feels kind of awkward to be here.
I hear you, Sean. I hear you.
Gotta keep my eye lube handy. Glad I don't need it as much.
Snake clamp?
Ugh. Wish Karen didn't tell me she got a rattlesnake out of the door.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still not used to this heat out here.
What web pages is she looking
no
at?
clue there was a network of seed pirates. Karen's a real life hacker.
Pirate seeds.
Karen takes on some small pieceworks for a living. Must pay better than poetry.
Thanks for your last advice column. We got quite a response and a lot of hits. I know you don't want a social media footprint, but you could generate a lot of clicks with your insights. Looking for your next piece. Please make sure to send your invoice for May and June for Desert Life Weekly.
Brody's so good at describing painful situations. And seeing
yeah.
the good into it.
The last time I saw my mother before this year, I was telling her to leave me the fuck alone. That I was done with the whole bullshit family. My real fam were the strangers I met on the road, who became friends, not my family who became strangers. I adopted all the online connections I made around the world and all those wandering souls that I would encounter on my journeys ahead. You would be reading about them right now, except the next time I saw my mother, she was in hospice care at our Utah home. Her body light and frail as a web, holding my hand and telling me that she was sorry about everything that kept us apart for most of my adult life. My mom was dying of cancer and she was sorry. So I cried. She cried. My brother cried. We all cried. And all the years of family bullshit blew away to dust like that. I just wasn't mad anymore. I didn't know it would be so easy or so hard. It didn't mean the past didn't happen or that I wasn't responsible in my own way. My brother used to tell me I was a fake liberal because while I was out trying to save the world, he had to take care of my mom and the family estate. Maybe he was right. But I told him that he also had the money to take care of them. God damn, if I was in charge of the finances, I would have given away the family estate and we'd be broke living in a co-op. My brother knows this. Families are just fucking weird. Society tells us to love your parents and siblings simply out of blood and chance, but what if you hate each other? What if you're only linked by random DNA? What if? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I've seen the best and worst of people everywhere I roll. You tend to have those extremes at 3 a.m., at an empty gas station, or on some desolate freeway. Yes, I've seen strong families bond in hard times. I know there are big siblings out there who will always care for their little siblings and vice versa. They helped me to understand our fragile filial ecosystem. In her last hours, my brother and I held my mom's thin fingers as she passed on to a place I hope is better than the one she came from. After she was gone, I found a stash of some old school essays and stories, the only thing I was good at in school. I never knew she kept this stuff or that she cared. If we never understood each other, even if we never understood each other, she must have been a little proud that I went my own way and tried to be a force for good. Mothers know how to make you cry like a little bitch. The first time tears had burned my eyes in a long time. It felt good. So now I've come back to a home I once vowed to never return. I don't feel so alienated this time, even if I still am. Like I say too often, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Now I have an estate to deal with and more responsibility than I actually want. But I have to see this as karma or destiny or the dharma of the privileged. Don't panic. But I may be taking a break from my life on wheels just to see who or what I can help. Now I have more responsibilities to spread around. I'm sure my brother will approve, insert sarcasm, if we're still talking after this memorial bonding. Okay, it's not a happy ending, but maybe it's a hopeful one. And speaking of hope, given the sad state of the sad nation, I've been thinking it's time to move outside my comfort zone, send dispatches from places and people I'm not so familiar with. Places I can explore to tell new stories from, like Canada or Mexico, or the road never ends.
Yeah, I ghosted her. But so glad to see Lila's back.
Alright. I hope nobody's been mad I've been out of touch. Brain needed a timeout. Yes, it can happen too. People are such pussies about mental health. Just talk and take care of each other. FFS? What? Oh no. My age is showing itself. What on earth does... Oh. FFS meaning... Oh, okay. Alright. Now let's take a look at this USB key. I forgot where I got it from, so...
Whoa. I should have gone through that flash drive weeks ago.
Math homework, movies and stuff, drawings, other crap, pictures, Misty Mice tickets.
Hey, Dad.
Ah. Is this his dad's flash drive?
Lila always knew how to crack me up.
Is this it? I guess that's it.
Whoa. I should have gone through that flash drive weeks ago.
So there's check USB key and use USB key, and they're both the same. Okay, let's get out of here. There's Daniel's stuff, just kind of...
Arthur and Stanley probably want their telescope back. Nice mess. Daniel will never change.
Alright, so Arthur and Stanley are somewhere here.
Water management is kind of a big thing around here.
Well, yeah, you're in the desert.
Dude, we could put red food coloring in the water and turn this into a blood tank.
Yeah, but then everybody would freak out. Plus, you can't do food coloring out here.
Such a downer.
We could also try to be self-sufficient when we're in Mexico.
Let's see if we even make it to Mexico, for that matter.
Karen practices what she preaches. She barters with her food, not money. Excuse me, water boy. Did you remember to feed the crops?
I never forget. Ask Mom. But no way I could grow stuff like she can. Maybe in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Where did all these cars
We
come
can grow a
from?
lot of stuff.
Is this where cars go to die? And what is this, these statues? Were these constructed by Daniel? Like,
Looking at this place, I see that Karen really wanted to get away from it all.
like somebody had a...
We helped Joanne set up this
Yep, I got...
giant vacuum with binoculars, as David calls it. It's so cool that people want to give a second life to their stuff.
Okay, so somewhere out here is Arthur, who wants the
Love the energy out here.
telescope, and that's
Did
essentially
everyone
going to be the
build their
next
stuff as they please?
trigger for continuing the storyline. But this is actually a pretty big area.
This place is the ultimate playground for Daniel.
I mean, it looks glorious, but
I love how they recycle everything into art, construction, or agriculture here.
do you feel it?
Hmm.
Like in your hand?
What's up,
Oh, is this
Joanne?
Joan?
See for
Or
yourself.
Joanne?
Man, check this out.
Okay, Daniel, let's take a little break.
Got it.
That child is something special.
Yeah.
Tells
I hear
Daniel
this
to
one
take
a
a
lot.
break, immediately
Don't worry.
continues working.
Yeah, I bet. But you have your own talent, Sean. I'm dead serious.
Dead serious.
Talent? Thanks. But I still have a lot to learn.
Of course you do. Only dumbasses think they know everything. It's okay to not know stuff. Don't worry so much about the outcome. An artist has to take a leap of faith about every other week.
That's what I was saying about having these games about making choices. I'm not an artist. Why are you here now? Always an artist.
Did you always want to be an artist?
Good grief, no. I
Good
tried very
grief.
hard not to be one. Till I realized it was useless. Listen, if you want to be an artist, you will be. It's not always easy, but in the end, it's pretty fucking cool. Speaking of, do you mind giving me a hand here?
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know if I can.
Yes, you can. I just need your input, okay?
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Sure. Why not?
Ah, there you go. Now, go stand over there. Daniel, you ready to start again?
Oh, yes. Hold on.
So, for my next trick, I'd love to see if you can connect these three pieces.
Ah. All
I
right.
made a model of what I have in mind here, but go ahead and be the artist. And we don't need a crane to lift this stuff. Daniel can snap these together like block toys.
Hell yeah. Let's do this.
Although you can say that there's a little bit more, So there's the miniature model. And according to this, she's got a block, a ball, a spool, and then eyes. What have I got to mess around with? There's the metal belly. There's the arm and the head. Like, am I expected to kind of...
Ready, Sean?
Man, I thought my art was weird.
So I can essentially
Looks
have
like
it
a freaking steampunk spider.
in any order I want.
Maybe that's supposed to represent the Earth.
So if I was going to do
Or a
it
ball.
differently, how would I do it differently? So right now it's belly, arm, head. Head I would
Think too
probably
much,
still
Sean.
keep at the top,
First thought, best thought.
but I might switch the arms and the belly.
Now, let's throw on that spider.
Check it out! Maybe you should keep the same bottom piece, don't you think?
Daniel, you know every artist sees and does things differently.
I know. I just wanted to help him see it in my way.
Notice how there's no way for me to actually ask
Okay, Daniel. Can you
for Daniel's input.
slam dunk the Earth ball onto the base?
Watch this layup.
Watch this basketball move.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Clever.
Clever
where's
girl.
Sean is about to show you, Daniel. Keep watching.
And then we'll add the metal head to the top of there.
Now, let's move Mr. Pancake's head onto the pedestal.
You got it.
You got it, dude.
You're too far from the original.
Oh, okay. So Daniel wants me to follow directions. Joan wants me to do it however I want. Turn right.
Okay. How about turning that pancake head?
Watch this.
Spin that pancake. Spin!
See, Sean.
And now it almost kind of looks like a guardian to our little community. So I will finish at that point. I wonder if there's, like, unique,
Feel like we're almost done.
Well, I think this is it. Looks good to me.
Only if the muse approves.
Not what I had in mind, but it's still cool.
You did a great job, Enano.
Well, Sean, Daniel, I think art might be in your family DNA. There's no escape. I think we're done for the day. Thank you so much for your help.
Okay.
That was fun.
all right.
Joanne is so chill about her art. That's what makes her talented.
Is her chillness. Not her talent, but her attitude. Which I suppose that's something to say.
I've read about it. It's a video game, right?
Yes. And
Oh,
you can
hold
build
on.
Whatever you want in it.
Ooh, you have to show me then. Precarious patriot, shrouded in dust.
That's cool Joanne trusted me to help build her sculpture.
Politics. Yeah, you hate it.
You okay, Joanne?
Yeah, as fine as frogs here, sweetie. I like to take a good look at a piece after I'm done working on it. It helps me connect with it.
Cool. Well, thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Oh, thank you, Sean. See you around, hon.
Okay, so I'm guessing Arthur is one of those two guys over there. Yeah. We got a movie theater.
Love watching movies under the stars. Like a drive-in, with no cars.
He's a poet, and he don't know it.
Dude, remember when you totally fell asleep during that Bollywood flick?
Because it was so lame after those cool cartoons.
Whatever. You missed Priya and Stanley teaching me how to dance.
No, I didn't. You can't dance, dude.
You can't miss what doesn't exist, man.
Karen and Joanne spent evenings playing and chatting. Kinda like me and Lila. Back in the day.
Yeah, let's take a look at these
I
recycling
should bring the
boxes.
telescope back to Art and Stan before I forget. You don't shit where you sleep, kid. Okay, David. Thanks for the explanation.
Life is a journey, better stay home.
Morning, Sean.
Morning,
Hello,
guys.
Stanley. Hello, Arthur.
Hey, what's up?
Morning, Sean. Join
Pulls
us.
telescope out of pocket.
Hey, just in time for our special desert brew. And dust-free.
Thanks. So much.
But the dust adds to the
It's too
flavor.
early to be so awake.
No kidding. Hey, how was your sleepover in the canyon?
Amazing. We watched the sunrise. Daniel loved it too.
That's my favorite view out here. It's like ancient times, but it never gets old.
Unlike us, darling. That canyon will be here long
Unlike
after
us, we
we're
are
gone.
really
Hope
old.
you looked up.
We did. Thanks for hooking us up.
Yep, he just stuffed his
Anytime.
telescope in his
Even My
pocket.
daughter Becky loves to stargaze
In
when
video
she
game
visits us.
space.
That's the only way to get Arthur to camp now. Becky is the real astronomer in the family. Wonder where she got this.
From her mom, probably.
Hope you guys get to meet Becky.
She visits a lot?
Does she come visiting often?
Not as much as I'd want. Can't really blame her. But you know, well, some parts of the year, this place is full of friends and family. Christmas, for example.
Do you ever get bored?
So, don't you ever get bored? Being out here is a big change.
We do sometimes. We're in a desert. I miss the parks, cafes, shopping. But this place is something else.
And we feel safe out here. If you could have seen me as a family man a few years ago, I had everything but nothing. Now I have nothing but everything.
So
to this
poetic.
After we got together, we both had serious breakdowns. Then we got the hell out of the Bay Area. For the better.
I hear that. I'm just so fucking tired of running. I hope me and Daniel find our own way.
You will. People come here to reset their life, become the person they want to be, or used to be. You're smart. You'll figure out your next direction. Right, Gramps?
Speak for yourself,
theory.
Grandpa. My body might be 59, but I'm 25.
Uh-huh. I'll remember that on the next hike.
I'm gonna hang around before it gets too hot. Thanks for the desert brew.
Alright.
These two remind me of Claire and Steven. In a weird, hippie version.
Okay, so now what? It's a wood bear.
Not again. It's kinda cute, though.
Got a copy over the wood bear.
You think they picked this up at the gas station?
Sean. It's too cute. Looks like Brody, the bear.
I sure wish we had him around now. He was a good guy.
Alright.
Hey, Sean. What were you doing at Oscar and Stanley's place?
You're a little too young to be stalking me, dude.
Very much so.
You know what? I saw them kissing the other day.
Dear God. Kinda normal,
You know
dude.
it's actually normal for people in love to kiss, right?
I know. I just mean, they're really cute together. I hope somebody cares about me like that when I get old.
I had the chance of developing Daniel into the young homophobe he could have been. But alas, I chose not to.
Super Wolf to Professor D. Copy. I hid something super cool for you to find.
Is it in my trailer?
Accept this quest to find my secret treasure.
Okay.
10-4. Okay. You're on it, Nano.
Yes. Thanks, Sean. Listen carefully. You must
Oh,
find
God.
the 2 items that will reveal where the treasure is.
Deal.
So for the first item is near the place with many wings that cannot fly.
What voice is he trying to do?
That's your clue?
You can do it, big brother.
Is he trying to do like a pirate voice or a British voice?
Mom's trailer. It's outside.
Like, with...
As cold as ever.
as cold as ever. So with many wings but cannot fly.
We helped Joanne set up this giant vacuum with binoculars. as
With
David
many
calls it.
wings.
Getting warm.
Is it this bird thing? Like, this bird cannot fly. These cars are going nowhere.
Way cold.
So it's probably hidden somewhere around...
You're in the middle zone.
Nobody wants to be in the middle zone. In the swap box? Probably not. Huh.
Getting closer. Not too far.
I like the fact that I can hear him much clearer now. Like, I'm not just hearing him over the radio. Windmill?
You're in the middle zone. Way cold.
Let's just walk in this direction, see what he says.
Warm.
Yeah, maybe the windmill then?
Getting closer. You're warm.
I've got a clue. Brother!
Ahoy, matey. I found a map of a way.
Yeah. Don't lose it because you'll need it to match up with the other part.
Got it.
I'll try to hold back.
Arr. For the second item, you'll need to find something that eats the sun.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Something that eats the sun. Something... Are there solar panels? Is it the moon?
This part of town is dead this
As
time of
cold as
year.
ever.
I should stay around here.
Getting warm.
Something that eats the sun.
Too far.
Oh my gosh. You're in the middle zone.
You're warming up.
It's not the bird thing.
Way cold.
It's not the car
Getting closer.
that eats the sun. It's the plants. The plants convert sunlight into energy. Yeah, that should have probably stood out because of photosynthesis.
You're in the middle zone. Getting warm. You're warming up.
Solar panels. Ah, that's what I was looking for.
Oh man, you're right there. Just look around.
Ah, and by combining these two clues, will I find the solution? It is over by the car wreck.
Found it. Nice. And it's a tracing paper sheet with a red cross.
Yeah. Now just match it up to the other paper. And the treasure is yours, Captain Diaz.
Ahoy, matey. I think I have the whole treasure map.
Yar, matey.
Now you just gotta dig your way to the treasure. Hope you know where to go.
Yar, matey, it
cool ass
appears
map
that we're
you drew.
dealing with some British pirates.
Everything about treasure
We need-
hunting.
That's the kind of treasure we're dealing with.
Getting closer.
Hmm.
You're on fire. Get back.
I was?
You were so close.
Ah.
Go back. It's close, Sean.
I don't see any interactables. Oh, there's the treasure.
It burns.
What is this?
Looks like something's buried here.
Oh,
Yes. I think I have found the hidden treasure.
Yeah, I knew you could do it. I found this under an old trailer. Looks like gold, right?
I'm not a prospector, but it looks like the real deal.
Sure! You know what time it is. Victory! Dance time! Come on! Dance!
there was no choice for me to dance or not dance.
You
I mean, I
asked
still
for
would have
it.
chosen to dance, but still.
Oh, I think you're spotting Mom's truck coming back. Yes, 100% her.
Gotcha. We'll help her out with the groceries.
Does her car come back in real time? Or do I just go over to the RV and then... The RV! And then the story just takes over. Ah, there's her truck. Why, hello, Mr. Ponytail Man.
Karen did hook us up here. that counts.
Greetings and salutations, sir.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, good morning.
Howdy, Sean.
How was the town trip?
Hate these trips. People look at us as if we're aliens. Here come the sand people.
The deserters have returned with offerings from Das Kapital.
Jolie. I miss.
How do they make money? Oh yeah,
coming
Karen does the advice column.
We'll see.
I wonder exactly how much money they
Looking good.
like what they have to do in order to
Defying
keep
death on a daily basis.
that money.
And
Also,
hydrating.
Oh, right. Can't forget your goodies.
Hey, thanks, Angel.
Here,
You're the man, Karen. Catch you later.
take care. Hey, so how did you guys like your night in the canyon?
it was pretty sweet.
It was amazing. So many stars. And so quiet. Good call, Karen.
I knew you'd like it. Stargazer. Glad you got to see that.
Hi, Mom. How was the town?
Town life always sucks. But we got something for you. Think
Oh.
fast.
Whoa, yes! Thanks, David.
You want to play catch, Danny boy?
Totally. Me and Dad always used to play, but I'm way better now.
You're not really throwing the ball anymore, kid.
No matter what he's been through, he just wants to be a kid and play.
Yep. Daniel hasn't been like this in forever. You've all been a good influence on him.
About time you boys went camping. Hope Daniel didn't get scared by all the critters.
Yeah, not anymore. He's seen a lot worse.
Very much
That
so.
made him tougher, and he can defend himself.
You're right. And he does like to show off. Maybe too much. You boys have been here over a month, and I still can't get over Daniel's skills.
Are you scared?
Does that kind of scare you?
Me? Goddamn right it does. Never met someone with a superpower before.
I try to be a good influence. Not always easy, but he listens to me. I don't know if I did right. Guess you never really know.
Listen, raising a kid is the toughest job in the world. Trust me. Combat was easier.
How many kids? Let's see, you're married or how many kids? Oh, you're married. Like, why are you out here then?
Oh. You didn't tell me you were married.
Used to be. She died a few years ago.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's life.
Oh, and is that what his tattoo on his chest
At
says?
least I
In
got
memory
my
of.
stepdaughter in the deal. We were like oil and water, and she was always starting shit.
Guess that's hard for a kid to get a new father.
Especially one like me. I just had no clue how to deal with her. Wish I did. But we eventually made our peace. Anyway, you can't go back.
Nope. Thanks for talking, David.
Better start my delivery now. Found some weird snacks in town. Arthur's gonna freak.
No one truly
Catch you
knows
later,
where
Sean.
those snacks came from,
Okay.
who created them,
Time out.
or why they were
gonna
even on
melt.
the
That was
shelves.
awesome, Mom.
Now I
Not
know
even
they
the
don't
store
play baseball in the
clerks
desert.
recognized
throw
the
way better than
snacks
Sean.
when they were brought up to the register.
We're not
They
done
just
out
looked
here
at the
yet.
snacks with blank looks on their
Get the
faces
food
and said,
inside before it melts.
"Those snacks
problem.
are already yours. You have no need to pay for them. For you are already their
She's
owners."
so cool. You think?
Joanne is so cool. Stanley's so cool. The heat is so cool.
The cool
You're
is so
way too easy,
cool.
bro.
Whatever. Can't
Although
help
that
it
kind
if
of
I
feels
can.
like he's very inspired.
Just
Like that's
be
why
you,
him and
I know.
Finn clicked
I'm
so
just
well.
saying.
Is because of how
Don't get
relaxed
too
and
cozy
chill
here. This is
Daniel is. This is a temporary
Rest
stop, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That's smart that everybody takes turns shopping.
And that it? Do I have to...
Hope my crops will make it.
Do I have to unpack the groceries or just leave them out on the
Your
counter?
Statue? That woman is amazing. I have to admit, I do miss that Pacific Northwest weather sometimes.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
Bad.
You've been here over a month now. What do you think of our little oasis?
Everybody's cool. I'm gonna steal
very
from
cool
Daniel.
And way different. Can't even believe nobody's freaking out about Daniel's power.
Well, Sean, it's still hard for me to wrap my head around it. But people here are not going to get in your space. They have their own past, too. That's why people come here from all over the country. For their own reasons.
Have the
Perfect,
people
but
who have
he
lived
looks-
there, have there been different groups of people kind of coming in and out?
It is so peaceful out here. Guess that's what everybody's really looking for.
And I think, like, Sean,
Peace.
out of all people,
You're
really can't really
probably
accuse
right.
them of being outcasts, simply because he
I
plans
still feel like
to
we're really
outcast himself
privileged out
and
here. There's bad shit going
Daniel
on
as
in
well.
this desert.
Yeah. I don't think you can ever really get away from everything.
You can't escape reality. Even here. We just live slightly apart from it.
How did you find this
So-
place?
How did you end up here? This place is not on the map.
Like most of us, I was first brought here by someone. Maggie.
Oh, okay.
After I failed
But
to make it
Maggie
in New York,
is not here
I was
anymore.
lucky enough to meet her down in Florida.
Oh, that would be
She's
when she was living
had a
for
tough
or working
life.
at that frog place.
This place was her getaway. She's long gone now, but her name is still written all over this place.
Well, thanks for bringing us here.
Oh, Sean. I'm glad I was able to help you. By the way, can you...
In our time of
so we
need.
can all, talk.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I just thought we could spend this day together. Just the three of us.
Big brother to Superwolf? We need you at Karen's trailer. Copy?
Sure. I mean, 10-4.
Huh. I almost feel like
Hola,
something's wrong with
compadre.
Karen.
How about a trek around the canyon today? You in?
Totally.
Let's pack then.
This and that kind of like trek almost has a kind of finality to it because this is a temporary stop. So I feel as though Karen's trying to make the most of their time together before Sean and Daniel actually have to move on.
We should have camped near that little creek. It was so perfect.
Nah. You'll need a good night's sleep after all this. And the car's just half a mile down the path.
This place makes for a pretty cool bedroom, though.
Man, I'm beat.
Oh, sorry. Just got one last thing to show you guys.
I can't get enough of this place.
Come on, Daniel. Give me your hand.
Slow down, Mom. You walk too fast.
More walk, less talk. Then you'll pass me up.
Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.